one team. One dream. One family.
30, 20, 10, touchdown Miami! One, two, three,
Fish Tank Live, presented by Van Horn Law Group and Casabella Design Group. Seth Levitt here, live from the Casabella Design Group studios and the Dolphins Talk YouTube channel. And as always, and it was a little tenuous, but as always, the man shows up. He is the toughest live podcaster Dan Marino ever played with, OJ McDuffie. Juice, you have that Ohio glow on you right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm going to tell you what, Seth, and I'm sure that Mike Oliva knows as well, man. It's like 75 degrees and perfect today.
Beautiful up here in
nice
Northeast.
And
Beautiful.
sunny. It is absolutely gorgeous day. No humidity, bro. I can wear a long sleeve shirt, long pants, and not sweat to death like I do back in South Florida, man. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good in the heart of it all. That's what we call this state. It's the heart of it all.
Ah, the heart of it all.
State of Ohio, that's for sure.
Well, Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame. How's our guy Mike Westhoff doing over there?
He's doing really well, man. He's got a big contingency of friends and family and former players in town, man. And yeah, it's pretty dope, man. Ran into Dan Fouts and Dick Vermeil, today. They're here. Leroy Butler, he's here. Some bunch of guys, but it was a packed room tonight for the reception.
That's awesome.
And then the big events tomorrow. The Hats are here. They said what's up.
Really?
Harvey
Dave
Green
Mack
is
is
here.
the previous winner of this
He
award.
He sure is. Harvey Green is here, your buddy, your boss. He's up in the building.
House. Another previous winner.
Yeah. And I sent you the picture of Jim and I. You know what I mean? Hornigan.
Yeah.
So it's like it's dope, man. It's pretty cool, man. And I'm glad they roll out the red carpet for these guys that are going into the hall, in their own way. You know what I mean? Except as you know.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, excited to hear more about that. Also excited to be joined by our crew here, and including somebody we haven't seen in a little while. So as always, we've got the legendary Savak, who was a little bit of a hard ass today. He's like, all right, guys, get that shit out of your system. And we're going live right now. So,
Boom,
Savak
hit the button.
producing. He's ready to roll. I love it. Absolutely. Mike Oliva of Dolphins Talk hanging out with us again, and back from the depths of Texas on a 13-day run, apparently. The great Chris Perkins joins us again. Perk, man, it's good to see you, and I'm glad you still know where to find your fish tank shirt.
Yeah, man, I'll never lose this, man. I'm drying out. I told you guys I was in Texas for 14 days, was drinking for 13 of those days, visiting family. So I had a good time, man. I'm ready to roll. Let's talk some Dolphins.
I love it. We're definitely going to talk some Dolphins.
Big Seth, real quick, though.
I love it real quick.
Why not 14 out of 14 days, man? Why not 14?
I mean,
what happened on the one day?
I'm old, Juice. I'm old.
You're slowing down?
Yeah, I am. It wasn't Hall of Fame stuff.
What day did you take off? What day did you take off, Perk? Was it like 14 out of 14?
It was last Sunday. Just Sunday. Sunday was the day. 4 days.
Where was that in the 14? Like
that was like day 11. It
was like a bye week. Yeah. Was that your bye weekend?
Yeah. Was it a
late season bye week? Right. Late season.
Right. I was licking my wounds.
Too good.
All right.
That's right. And Jason Sarney in the chat, he recognizes that Savak is back in the paddock. He's no longer in Michigan. Or we don't think he is. I guess we really don't know what's behind that.
You know where he's at, man. Parts unknown, Big Seth.
Parts unknown. Too good. Well, it is a little bit slow for Dolphins talk these days. Well, not for Dolphins talk, but for talking about the Miami Dolphins. Kirk upgraded his internet. Yeah, Terry, he definitely did. So it's a little bit slow. And Savak had this great idea, something we've never done in the history of the fish tank, is we opened up the mailbag. So we opened up the mailbag, and I just want to get through. So we got some great questions. We've got some great questions. Some of those folks are in the chat. Others will just make sure that they hear this later. But if you guys are cool with it, I'm just gonna kind of pull these questions out of the mailbag, and we'll see who wants to answer them.
Bet.
Go.
Does that work?
Let's do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So since I mentioned Sarney, we'll kick it off with him, and I think he did ask the first question, and it is: which Miami Dolphin who has not yet been a team captain has the best shot at being named a 2026 captain? So which Dolphin who has not yet been a team captain? That's the key part there. Please, in the chat, don't go throw like Aaron Brewer or somebody who already is the captain.
Yeah.
Okay, just understand the question first. Perk, let's start that with you. You're really good with the numbers and analyzing these teams. By the way, we didn't invite Travis Wingfield because we would take the whole show with him naming 38 players.
All the time.
That's right.
MVPs, captains, you name it.
Everybody. I don't know how they're going to pick 8 captains.
I'm going to be honorable and not say Malik Willis because that's the easy
Right.
one. I'm going to go with Patrick Paul, the left tackle. I think Patrick Paul is a guy who showed last year as a first-year starter that he's ready for a leadership role. I think he continues to show that through the offseason program. He's somebody who I think should get Pro Bowl talk this year. I'm not saying he'll make the Pro Bowl, but he should get Pro Bowl talk this year. So he's well-liked. We know that he's a trash talker on the field. So he's going to be Malik Willis's number one protector there and against the pass. So I'm saying Patrick Paul is the man.
Patrick Paul, I like it. That's a good choice. I think that's got a real possibility. Although, again, I think Brewer will be a captain again, Perk. So will they have 2 on the offensive line? I guess that remains to be seen. Juice, what about you? Who are you thinking?
Wide receivers, all of them.
All of you. I do not think that it is a wide receiver
Every
room
single-
full of captains. I'm sorry.
Every single one of them, man. No, no. I mean, like Perk said, I think Malik Willis is an easy choice. I'm thinking I'm hoping that Devon Achane can be the guy that could emerge as one of the captains on this football team. We talked about the guys that make all the money. We hope they're good leaders on the football team. I'm not sure how Devon is within the locker room, whether he's, with his work ethic and everything. I'm pretty sure he's a good worker. A lot of times they don't elect guys that are kind of quiet as captains. So I don't really know. His personality seems kind of quiet. But real talk, though, I do like a guy like Malik Washington to be a guy that does a lot of
Don't
things.
take all
He
the
could be a
answers.
guy
Maybe
that could
nobody.
be-
I know.
Oh, is that where you going, Mike?
No, it's all
I
right.
was
That's
thinking
all right.
about him too, but I knew he wasn't getting past OJ.
Yeah, I said wide receiver from the beginning, Mike, and I told you I was going wide receiver.
He said Achane.
My guy, Mike, is Malik Washington is the guy for me. You can take Achane now.
Okay, thank you. I have permission.
Switch it up. Throw us a curveball.
I'm going to throw a curveball, and I think it's a little bit of a wild card, but it's not impossible because we hear about this guy and, high character guy, leadership qualities. His story's a great story. And you don't see it often. It's rare, but it has happened. Jacob Rodriguez. And I know we're probably going to already have a linebacker as a captain with Jordan Brooks. I get it, but who says you can't have 2? So I'm going to go as a wild card under the radar. Jacob Rodriguez has that leadership quality type, good guy. He's not going to embarrass you off the field type of guy. That's my sleeper since OJ took like 8 other guys.
Yeah, well, Mike, I mean, Mike, even if Jacob isn't starting, he could be that team's guy. That's the captain.
Special teams
so
captain,
it happens on teams. Exactly right, bro. They're going to, hopefully they pick from all those different areas and have some representation there. So that's actually a pretty good one, man, because I can't think of anybody on teams right now that I would think of as my captain right now. There's no
probably won't be
John
the punter or
Denny's
kicker because they're new.
Right, exactly right. So there's a chance there. He's got a chance at that. Good call.
Yeah, that's an
Legendary.
interesting one. I'll be surprised, but that is an interesting one right there. Especially, I guess we'll see what happens with Brooks, right? I mean, I feel like if Brooks, again, when you get multiple guys in the same position group, I don't know. I think
was Zach a captain, Seth? Was Zach a captain right when he took over the starting role?
I don't know if he was or not. He was a captain his rookie year. Right. But I think he was his second year. I think he had
from then on, I'm sure. Yeah, but I'm wondering if rookie year, even though
go back and research that.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see him. You'll see him. You can ask him. I know he did win. He won. Was it? I don't know if it was team MVP or he certainly won newcomer of the year and all that stuff.
I have the
Perk,
answer right now. Per
Okay.
Google, in 1996, Jimmy Johnson, he did not name permanent season-long captains.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Every
There you
week with
go.
somebody else. That's why that jerk. That's why I don't like that jerk.
Well, Juice, what's worse, doing that or doing what Mike McDaniel did, named captains, and then still had different captains every week?
Well, I
Well,
mean, how's Dan Marino
Mc-
not a
Mc-
captain that year, though? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me, man. Come on, man.
And-
That's his shirt, his
We're getting
jerkdom.
Juice
That's his
fired up
jerkdom.
after a week. Come on. What were you going to say, Perk?
Just for the record, Mike McDaniel said they always had elections, so team captains were elected, not selected.
Okay, fair enough. They were elected, but still, he had different people go out. There were
Right.
9 or 10 captains, and yet there were 3
Right.
different people that went out for the coin toss every week.
Right.
So I don't know. Like,
Right.
what the hell were the captains doing? I don't know.
Right.
Holding player-only meetings by
Yeah,
themselves.
he
I
should
don't
have
know.
called me. Yeah, he should have called him a captain. They should be called a leadership council. They shouldn't be called. Certain guys are captains, other guys are on the leadership council, man.
That's it.
Right.
That's
I
it.
got one more dark horse. You got something, Seth? I don't want to kneecap
No,
you.
go for it. Go for it. And I'll move on to
Jordan
the next
Phillips.
question. after this.
Jordan Phillips could be a
Jordan
dark horse.
Phillips is
He's a,
interesting.
yeah, he's a guy who has worked hard, who started 15 games last year, had a good offseason. That would be kind of a disappointment to the other highly picked guys, right? For Kenneth Grant, and I don't mean he would be leapfrogging them is a better way to put it, right? So Chop Robinson and Kenneth Grant and Jonah and all those guys, Jordan Phillips would leapfrog them, but I could see Phillips or I could see Dante Trader as dark horse young team captains.
Trader, that's a good one.
We know
Both
you're a
of them
big
had
Trader
good
guy.
ones.
We know Perkins loves Dante Trader.
I do.
He definitely
Yep.
does.
Now, I think what it boils down to, Big Seth, is that we want we need better captains and not necessarily captains, better leaders than we had in the past couple of years.
That's right.
I think our guys need to be character guys, work ethic guys. They can make plays. Hopefully they make plays as well. But I think you got to have the right guys leading that damn locker room, man, moving forward, man, because that's where we fell off, I think, as a football team.
Agreed. I think we move on from here. Those were a lot of good answers there, guys. Appreciate that. So, okay.
Sorry, Mike. I want Mike goes first this time, Seth.
Well, you know what? This will be Mike can't go first on this one.
Exactly.
With this particular question. So John, oh my gosh, John, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Is it Fiorino? So John asks, was there a player, coach, or front office executive that you were genuinely afraid of approaching out of fear or thinking they were crazy? If so, did it turn out your suspicions were right? So I imagine that question. Let's start with you, Juice, because these guys were your teammates and or your coaches, and then I would love to hear Perk from a media perspective, and then I'll give you my employee perspective.
So there was a player asking about a player,
coach, or front office executive that you were genuinely afraid of approaching out of fear or thinking they were crazy. I love that question.
Yeah.
Well, I feared no player. I knew a lot of them were crazy. I knew Gene Atkins had a little issues. We all knew Brian Cox might rip your head off. Some guys are fake tough guys. I didn't give a damn about them. I approached the biggest dude on the team, as you know, Big Seth, got pushed 10 yards for a first down.
You did.
Ground. Slid the whole way, grass stains on my ass.
That's another Miami Dolphins.
It's first down. Anyhow, but honestly, the only one that really he just never wanted to go up. If Shula called for you, man, it's never good, bro. If Shula, I got in trouble one time. I had a surprise birthday party down in the Grove. You know what I mean? It was a surprise to me, even though it wasn't a surprise to me. Sorry, Coach, I lied when I came into your office that day. I told you I knew nothing about it. He'll understand right now. He'll understand. But he called me in that. It was a Thursday night. He called me in that Friday morning. I don't even know how the hell he knew. Called me in that Friday morning and ripped my ass, man. Like, we got a fucking game on Sunday and you're fucking out partying and ding, ding, block. You know what I mean? That's Shula, though. That ain't me talking. That's Shula talking.
He just was quoting. He was quoting.
That's quoting. And I'm like, Coach, I had no idea what was going on, even though we spent every Thursday in the Grove. the Grove every single Thursday.
Yeah.
We did Fat Tuesday there. We did Marinos, and we did 609. Like
Nice.
religiously. 609 was one of the baddest clubs. But so anyhow, let me get back to what I was talking about here. Don Shula's the guy.
Juice, we just got another question in the mailbag from Chris Perkins. Why was 609 the baddest club?
Oh, man. Well, the music was incredible.
It was good music.
The drinks were flowing. DJ Tony Tone was one of the best DJs in South Florida. You know what I mean? So that's why, man. It was hip, man. And then, for the Grove to have something like that, because we usually went to South Beach, but for the Grove to have something like that every Thursday night that was on point like that, man, it was a lot of fun, man. And and Friday practice was weak. Sometimes, now I guess I got to tell all my business now. Sometimes I go straight from 609 straight to the training room and just lay on the training room table until the 8 o'clock meetings. Steam room, hot tub, stream room, hot tub, steam room, hot tub. Then I lay down. Then boom, 8 o'clock meeting. I'm good. I worked my ass off.
Took me a year to figure out why.
And I showed up on Sunday, Big Seth. I showed up on Sunday.
That's all that matters.
That is all that matters. All right, so Don Shula is the answer there from OJ McDuffie, but not for fear out of thinking he was crazy. It was just for fear out of fear. So that was
don't go up those stairs, man.
Yeah,
do not go upstairs.
That's what it was. Perk, what about you covering this team? Was there anybody that fell into those categories?
Yeah, there's guys that. So I'll start off here. Alonzo Mourning was that dude for me that would. Zoe went off on me so many times. Bleep you, Chris. Why the bleep you asking me some stupid bleep like that? And then, but eventually we'd make up. Oh, there were straight F-bombs, So Zoe was intense. I knew Zoe was never going to hit me, but Zoe was intense. So off of that vein, the intense guys, Randy Starks was intense. Rashad Jones was intense. Jarvis Landry was intense. Jarvis Landry almost whooped Adam Beasley's ass one day. Kim Bocamper had to step up and stand between Jarvis Landry and Adam Beasley.
What did these do?
Well, it was a game. Oh, God. Let's see. This was maybe late in the 2016 season or something. I can't remember where we were. It was a road game. And the Dolphins got beat 24-6. And so Beasley asked Jarvis about, there was this stretch where they hadn't scored very many touchdowns. And so Beasley, in a poorly worded question, asked Jarvis something about the struggling offense and you guys can't score points. And the response was, well, we scored today. And then it was like, but you guys didn't score enough. And there was a little back and forth. And so it ended. And then Beasley said something under his breath, to which Jarvis stood up and said, "What'd you say?" And then Bocamper had to step in and
you can't say stuff under your breath, man.
Don't say stuff under your breath. So
say it with your chest, Jarvis, man.
Perk, where was the PR staff?
Exactly. So those are the type of dudes. Those are the type of dudes that somebody who is an intense player. The Brian Coxes, I don't think, are in the league anymore. Who might actually hit you?
Gene Atkins.
Gene Atkins
ran through Jason Cole. He ran through Jason Cole in the locker room.
Exactly. Those were the days there. But intensity is so. And Clarence Brooks, right? Clarence was the defensive line coach, right?
Yes.
I remember a time. So you guys, there was a time during when I was covering 2000 to 2002. They had two-a-days, and media could actually be on the field, and we could be 5 yards from a drill. And I remember one time a defensive lineman almost ran me down. Clarence Brooks didn't give a damn about my health. He was worried the defensive lineman would get hurt. Harvey, he was off the field. And CB was he was looking right at me, and I was like, damn. CB was a really good dude. He was really good dude. But stay safely back from his drills. That's what I learned.
That's it. Right. Yeah, the coaches don't like messing with that. That's some good stuff. Where was the PR staff when Beasley was about to get choked out?
I don't know. I don't remember. They must have been other places. But Kim Bocamper got the save on that one.
You got to be able to find that stuff, man. I had to pull Juice apart from Dan Levitard after that Atlanta game when we got destroyed. And we, if you're going back and listen to that fish tank
I
episode,
made Dan's career. I made Danny famous. I made Dan Levitard famous.
that was ugly, man. I'm just sitting there, all of a sudden I'm hearing bleep you, and they're nose to nose. That was not good. And plus we got shit kicked out of us, and Jimmy had flipped over.
Mike, you don't believe I was a hothead like that, do you, Mike? You don't believe
I
that
absolutely
shit,
believe you were a hothead like that.
Oh,
And there ain't nothing wrong with it, Juice. This team right now needs more players who are a little bit like that.
yeah, you're right about that. You're right
There's too
about
many
that.
nice guys around.
So I would say for me, and I love the guy to death, but I definitely, every time I walked by, I had all my radar on, was Larry Chester.
Oh, yeah.
Larry played too much, man, and he was grumpy, and I mean, such a nice dude, but he would just, and he was so ridiculously strong, and he would just pick you up with one hand and just stuff you in a lot. Like, he was that guy. Like, man, I just never wanted to be a part of any of that. Larry might have had a screw loose at that time. He might have been a little bit crazy. So
we
yeah,
all do,
Larry,
man. We all got a screw loose, Big Seth.
Dude, hopefully, that's the type of team I want to cover. I don't like covering these nice guy teams, Mike.
Yeah.
You want to altar boys. You want some guys, You want someone who's going to steal a hamburger, Seth, across from McDonald's.
That's right. There he goes. He would eat tractor tires. A tractor tire in one hand, Sam, and a bag of Skittles in the other hand. And don't you dare take his damn candy. You're going to get, snapped in half like a twig. So name a Dolphin teammate you hated, and why was it Lorenzo Bromell? Poor Lo. Everybody loves Bromell, Sam. Everybody loves Bromell.
I love Bromell, yeah.
Juice, was there a teammate that you hated?
Man, you got to see. Well,
what had happened was,
well, I hated. I'm gonna tell you this. I hated Daryl Gardner for a very long time.
Yeah,
until I got over it. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, we had. It wasn't fisticuffs because like I said, Seth, we've told this story before, but I'll tell the story. My Daryl Gardner story. Perk, you know my Daryl Gardner story?
Yeah. I think I've heard it.
Kirk, you don't know that story?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're doing 2-minute drill. We're doing 2-minute drill for conditioning. You know what I mean? This is when Wanstead, Jimmy was already going, right, Seth? So it was Wanstead time. We're doing 2-minute drill for conditioning. So we're doing 1v1s for conditioning, right? Me, I'm still nursing my foot, but I'm still like really active in terms of like walking, with the offense and stuff. And Daryl takes his ass out of practice, out of the drill. I'm like, I'm looking over, watching him go to the sideline. I'm like, Daryl, what the hell you doing, man? This is conditioning. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing for conditioning. And he's over there spouting off his mouth like, yo, Jason, shut the fuck up. I'm like,
oh, there was a quote.
I'm like, no. And I said, no, you basically shut the fuck up, And he said, I'll come out there and beat your ass. I was like, what you gonna do? So he starts walking my way, right? I'm like, shit. I'm thinking in my head, like, all right, there's 100 alpha males out this bitch, right? What am I gonna do? Run? Well, I said, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna run. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So he comes out there and he gives me this 2-hand shove in my chest. Ooh. I slid, like I said, for a first down. So another Miami Dolphin, what, Big Seth?
It was definitely.
Yeah, I slid like, I was so mad. And I look, you look at the situation. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna get up and swing? Nope. What I did was I was making a beeline to the parking lot.
Yeah.
To my Mercedes.
And it wasn't to leave.
It wasn't to leave.
I'm thinking not.
And if it wasn't for Jason Taylor and Derek Rogers, it might have been a worse situation.
Yeah.
And then I called Lamar, who just gotten released from the team. And Lamar said, man, meet me over quarterdeck, man. Just calm down, man. Just calm down, man. So, end of story. But I was almost inmate 0000081.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a Gilbert Arenas type story, right? Wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you that though, from that point on, Seth and I talked about it on our podcast. I took my guns out of the car. There was never a gun in my car ever since that day. You know what I mean? That was a stupid, irrational, dumbass decision I almost made.
We're laughing
never
now.
do it
Could have
again.
been really, really
Yeah, could have been really bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I was a
you know,
hothead, Mike. I was a hothead, Mike.
I think some people
You'd have been the
just thought
second
you were
OJ in
leaving.
trouble.
Hey, I'd have been the first. I'd have beat him
Oh,
to the
true.
punch.
That was before. That's true.
I was standing there with Harvey and Neil, and they're like, "Oh, is he leaving? Where's he going?" And I'm like, "I play too much pickup basketball to know what it means when somebody leaves the court and going to the car."
White
like,
man
he ain't
can't
leaving.
jump.
He
White
will
man
be
can't
back.
jump,
I can
right?
assure you, he will be back,
When
and
your
I'm
boy-
not going to be out here.
when your boy was
sure.
in car, white man can't jump. What was he doing, Big Seth?
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, we're going to move on to another question here, and this question I will open up with Michael Leva. So, Music Guy NC says this is at least the 6th reset of the Ross era as owner. Why should any Dolphins fan have any faith in this new regime, or that anything changes until Ross is no longer the owner? Michael Leva.
I mean, in reality, they shouldn't, but we're fans. What are you going to do? I mean, you got to have hope. You got to root for your team. But in all honesty, you know, right now, being only, 5 months in or however many months in since they were hired, there is no reason to have faith. But I do think some of the early signs we've seen have been more positive than previous regimes. I know there's been a narrative on social media. Well, all new regimes say this. All new head coaches say it. And at some level, it's true. But this one just feels a little bit different. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. It just does feel a little bit different. We'll see. We'll see how they went. They had 13 picks in the draft. I don't know how they're going to pan out. We might not even know after this year. Hopefully, we'll have a strong idea on most of them, at least. They're not all going to hit. But if, there's 5 or 6 guys there that seem like they're guys who are going to be your first or second string for the next handful of years that played well, that'd be great. But we don't know, and there is no reason to have blind faith, I guess. But I do think this one feels a little different, just because the general manager and the head coach are both gone at the same time. I think that's why it feels a lot different. This is new eyes across the board on everything.
All right,
Seth, let me hit on that real quick. I get how these guys come down on Mr. Ross all the time, but look at some of the hires though. Nick, you told me Nick Saban. I don't know if that was Ross or not. Wasn't a good hire.
That was Wayne.
I'm saying, well, same shit though. So, I mean, all these regimes none of them worked out since Shula. Ain't nobody worked out since Shula. So you look at all the guys we've hired since. Adam Gase was the hottest guy out there. That was the hottest coach. That was one of the hottest guys that a lot of teams were coveting out there. You know what I mean? So you look at some of the guys that we've actually have not gotten it done. There were some good coaches. Flores was a hot commodity. A lot of these coaches were hot commodities, even though they, I'm not going to look at some of the other ones like, Philbin. I don't know where that,
Cam Cameron.
We tried to get to Cam Cameron was probably the worst of all of them, but you can't. When you look at it, man, it really boils down to they tried to get the hottest dudes out there, and some dudes didn't want to come here. You got to look at that point too. We're looking for a head coach, and they don't want to be here. Then what do? Just go coachless, player coaches. You know what I mean? We'll change. I mean, Bill Russell. Let Bill Russell do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just I know that Mr. Ross likes to spend money, man. And they let these guys come in and they if they wet the bed, they wet the bed. But I never want to put it on ownership, bro, because I think they try to do what's best for the squad. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. Respect for the ownership. Chris Perkins, James Vernon wants to know, what are your personal favorite Dolphin interviews and why?
Oh, wait, can I go back to the other one?
You can do both.
This is an easy one for me. This regime has a plan that's rooted in concrete, not rooted in cement. And I like the fact that Steve Ross has gone totally different now when he's listening to Dan Silman, his son-in-law and the exec in his Relevant Sports Company, as well as Troy Aikman, who were two kind of football outsiders when you're talking about building a new team. So he made that change. The other thing, like I say, these guys, their plan is rooted in cement, run game, defense, build the trenches. This is not go get me a quarterback, make Ryan Tannehill Peyton Manning, or make Ryan Tannehill Aaron Rodgers or whatever. That's BS. this goes along with the successful defensive coaches we've seen, right? Wanstead, good plan. That team maximized its ability. Brian Flores, good plan. That team maximized its ability. And I think Sully and Half have a good plan. I think this team will maximize its ability. Now, whatever its ability is, that depends on how well they draft and develop and coach and all that. They're not going to leave as much meat on the bone as Gase's teams, as Philbin's teams, and especially as Mike McDaniel's team. So that's why I have more faith in this plan. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that at all. I think it's a good plan. It's a good strategy, a good philosophy, and they're going to maximize their potential. And really, that's kind of what you want as a fan, right? Play to your full potential. I think that's what we're going to see from this new regime.
Like that.
All right.
I agree.
Feels different.
That's not too
It does feel
bad.
different.
That's
It does.
right
Well,
there.
very
Yeah,
different
it
than what we
does.
just saw. I mean, that's
It does
Yeah.
feel different, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite Dolphins interviews, is that
Yes.
was that the next question, Seth?
yes.
Oh boy. Man, so I always like the vets. So look, Timbo was one of my guys. Tim Bowens was, one of the guys that I'll still text him a couple of times a year. He'll just hit me up, Chris, what's good? Timbo was a good guy. I like the vets. So recent guys, John Jenkins. He's a vet. He's a guy that I always went to. I remember I was in the locker room when was Jenkins here? 22. I'm in the locker room and I'm just asking him all these questions, and somebody sitting next to him was like, damn, man, why are you asking him all these questions? And Jenkins goes, you know what I like about him is he tries to learn the game. And Jenkins was good at dropping knowledge. He taught me a lot. Deshaun Elliott was a guy who taught me a lot. David Long was a guy who taught me a lot. I like the hard head, no BS veterans. Ingold was a guy that I like going to a lot. Landon Roberts, a guy that I used to like going to a lot.
Rob,
Teron
good.
Armstead, a guy that I like going to a lot. So these are the types of guys that I like to interview. And because they have knowledge, they're vets and they have knowledge, those are the guys that I migrate towards.
Nice.
Very nice. I'm sorry.
You got to read that one from Sam for the people not watching on YouTube who are listening in audio form. You got to read that one from Sam.
Okay. Well,
Sam.
so
Hold on, we got to
Sam
read this.
Martu from
Yeah.
Welcome to Perfectville says the new coaches feel like a new pair of underwear. A little tight, not sure if they actually fit, but also a bit refreshing and stink-free. So
That's a wordsmith right there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
God.
nice. That's nice.
Well done, Sam. And I guess we'll see. We'll see how that all turns out. Very nice. Yeah. Juice, I was thinking, somebody was asking me about some of the interviews we've done. Actually, did an interview with my buddy Dan Ariola, his podcast, The Happy Customer Channel. And he was just talking about podcasting in general. And he asked who was the most entertaining guest that we've had. And, Crowder's the obvious answer. But I sent him to the Louis Oliver episode. And
It's a great episode.
the Louis Oliver episode is one of the all-time great Fish Tank episodes. And it was early generation. It started off crazy because Juice texted me and said, "What's your address?" And I just was doing 10 things and sent him my home address.
Right.
So Louis Oliver shows up at my house looking to record for the Fish Tank. And I'm like, oh, shit. My wife's going to freak out when Louis Oliver's banging on the door looking for Juice. And where's Steph? But we ended up getting them and recorded, and just a great episode. So, yeah, that was I got to go back and listen to some of that old stuff. Check out the Louis Oliver one for sure. All right, I want to make sure we get to a few more of these. So, Juice, this is a question specifically for you. Would like to hear OJ talk about which game in his career was the most memorable.
Oh man, that's a good one. I mean, there's one that was memorable, but I don't remember because I got my lights knocked out. That was the Detroit Lions game,
Ooh,
and that was the only time Marino ever threw me high over the middle, and I got my chin split by Mark Carrier. And this is in the first quarter, and Marino, I promise you, Danny followed me around like the whole game, apologizing, man. He said, Juice, man, I never do that, man. My bad. And he never did that to me before or after that. You know what I mean? It was just one of those instances I was running a dig, and he was like so apologetic, man. Like he's like, man, I don't do that to my guys, man. And I really appreciated that. But the one I always come to, man, is always like you can go to Atlanta. My first preseason game where I took the first ball I touched 90 yards for a touchdown, a kickoff return. But when you're talking about some special stuff, Marino's, 398, 399. Well, actually 399, 400, 401. That game against the Saints, because Danny was sitting at 398 already. And he said, look, when I throw my second touchdown pass, I'm going to need that football. He already knew he was going to get a couple in that game already, man. And that was that brass, that confidence, that cockiness that I loved about Danny. So being able to catch 399 and give it to my Aunt Celie, went to one football game of mine, catch 400, give it to Marino, and then catch 401 and give it to my mom, all in the same end zone. I mean, that's the most. It doesn't get any better than that for me as a player, man. And be a part of that history. The funny part about the 400 though was we're down like the 5-6 yard line, and Lamar Thomas is in the game, and Coach Robert Ford hears the play come in.
Yeah.
And he said, OJ, get in there, because it was a quick out, and Lamar would have caught 400. And so I went in and replaced Lamar and saw what the play was. I caught a little bit short, Perk, but I said, this is my only chance to get in the end zone for this. So I had to reach it in and get that 400 and give it to Danny. And then Lamar came and stole the football anyway, so it really didn't matter. He gave it back, though. But yeah, that was a game.
That's a great one. What about the Cincinnati game?
Yeah, that was your favorite, Big Seth, when you sitting up the top of the Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, coming down
with
from Steve Bird. Yeah, man, with the McDuffies and that, and who hated that play even more than anybody? I ran the out and up. DB didn't really bite. Danny threw a perfect ball, caught it, in the end zone with a little over a minute left, and we won that game. But Kijana had been drafted by the Bengals at that point. He said, he came to me after the game and said, OJ, anybody but you beating us, anybody but you. So that's why he's my best friend to this day, for sure. So that's Cincinnati was great.
Good stuff. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing that.
I also got another one, though.
Okay.
Punt return on Sunday night against the Indianapolis Colts.
That was the game I was just going to mention. You had a big game on Sunday night with Scott Mitchell, right?
Oh, my God. I had a punt. I got an article that, we lit them up. But I also had a punt return my rookie year, Mike, where I'm at the beginning of the game, I'm hanging out with, Keith Jackson, and I'm walking into the stadium, and it's like, that Sunday night game is like a Monday night game. Like he said, Juice, see all these trucks out here? I said, yeah, man, what's going on? He said, man, that means the whole world is watching. All these trucks, all these satellites, the whole world is watching. I'm like, okay. And so we go in there. I'm basically just returning punts at that time. And then, he looks over the sideline. He said, see that dude over there for the Colts? That's Clarence Verdun. He thinks he's a bad man. And he said, no, you're the man tonight. I said, oh, yeah, I'm the man tonight. I was all hyped. This young rookie, I'm hyped like a little bitch. You know what I mean? And then so when I catch that punt, and then I see guys start getting blocked, and then one guy's falling, I jump over him and take that to the house. All them dudes rush me in the end zone. Keith Jackson, Keith Byers, Irvin Fryer, Brian Cox, Lewis Oliver was on the team. He was on the special teams that did that. When they rushed me in the end zone, bro, that's when I felt like, I made this fucking team now, bro. It was like the most amazing feeling when them dudes came at me and like, I had to do something, man, because rookies, you know how it is, Perk.
Right.
Rookies, first rounders, man, do something. And I did something early in my career.
Perk ain't even talking to the rookies, man. He's only going to the vets.
I heard that. I recognize his list of guys. He like leapfrogs those guys and doesn't even talk to the young guys. But yeah, man, that was fun right there. So there we go. I'm done.
Awesome.
Now. I'm done.
Well, since Perk's not talking to the rookies, we'll bring this one to Michael Leva, even though I guess it is from your Dolphins Talk partner. From Dolphins Talk, Tom, which rookie wide receiver will have the biggest impact in year one, Chris Bell or Caleb Douglas?
Well, Chris Bell, I don't know how much he's going to play. That's the thing. I do actually think he'll play some. I also don't know if it'll be week one or not. Caleb, it's so interesting because when they made the pick in round 3 for Caleb Douglas, all the experts on TV were like crapping over the pick. I can't believe they reached for him. Watch him have a good rookie season. Watch him step up because everyone was so against him. Watch him have a good rookie season. So I'm going to go with him because I think he's going to play a full season. I think because where he was picked at the top of round 3, he's going to have a lot of opportunities and chances in a wide receiver room that, is wide open, let's just say. And Chris Bell, just because of the injury, I don't know. But I think when Chris Bell is healthy, Perk, he's going to be someone that will be just like Jarvis Landry, I think. I think those two are cut from the same cloth. I think they're the same type of guys. I think he can be special.
You know what? I think that Chris Bell, it might be name association. I think Chris Chambers when I think Chris Bell, and maybe even a better version of Chambers. And Chambers was a baller. I think Chambers made 2 Pro Bowls in his career. Maybe did one with the Chargers. Did he make one here? Anyway,
I'll check right now.
But yeah, check it. But Bell's skill set is so vast. It's so varied as far as being able to catch short passes, deep passes, intermediate. He's tough. He's not a speedy guy, but he has enough speed. He's a playmaker to me, and that's what I really like. I've written this and said this. I think Chris Bell is potentially the steal of the draft, and I'm not saying for the
hell yeah.
I'm saying for the entire draft.
He was a first-round pick if he was healthy. Yeah,
correct, 100% correct. This kid is a baller. I love that pick. I hope he gets healthy midway through the season so we could see like a 7 or 8 game sample size. But I'm high on Chris Bell. I really like him.
So Chris Chambers made 1 Pro Bowl in 2005 with the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, nice. There we go.
There it is. And then I was going to say it, and Sarni just dropped it in there too in the chat. But Kevin Coleman Jr. is another guy that don't sleep on that dude, because he might fit in really well, especially with a team that's still trying to find itself. A little guy who's got the quicks, Juice.
Buddy.
That could help them out.
He and Malik running some inside out routes with some big guys on the outside, hiding behind some tight ends, man. It's always a fun deal right there. But Kevin Coleman could be really, really good, man. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I like the fact that Halfley is not. Everybody's like, well, you don't have a wide receiver 1. You don't have to have a wide receiver 1. Let them decide who's going to be the wide receiver 1. And whoever's play becomes that play, they're the ones that people have to, game plan against. Your wide receiver 1 is a guy that teams have to game plan against. If they don't have the game plan, we'll figure that out. If they start game planning against you and they start talking about game plan against somebody, that becomes your wide receiver 1, then everybody else takes on the other roles. I was talking to somebody the other day how when I played against New England, Ty Law was outside, and then when they moved me inside, I was chewing up whoever was inside, So then once they started seeing that, they moved Ty Law inside. So that made me wide receiver 1, in my opinion, because they put their best cover guy on me. You know what I mean? So whoever they start game planning against is going to be the guy that I think that's going to be the wide receiver 1. But you don't need a bunch. You don't need a 1. You need a bunch of guys, and you need a quarterback that's going to pick a guy and let it fly.
There's only so many that could do it. Sure.
I'm just saying, though, you got to. What I mean by that is you got to throw wherever coverage dictates what you have to do. You just don't force it to people like we had to force. We had to force Tyreek a lot of times. We had to, and that became a problem. I'd rather not have a wide receiver 1 where you don't have to force it to somebody, where the quarterback reads the coverage, guy beats his guy, and we get a distribution of targets and catches throughout the whole wide receiving core. That's ideal right there.
Yeah. Yep. No arguments here. It would be kind of dumb for me to do that when we're talking about wide receiver play. Yeah.
But you're a quarterback, though, Big Seth. You don't know nothing about wide receiver play. That's like Marino trying to tell me how to run routes. I'm like, man, don't tell me how to run no damn routes, man. Man.
That's exactly why I said it. All right, Jay Finn in the chat. Do you guys not like seeing players happy after a game? I take it personally. I wasn't smiling after a loss. I see it as part of a soft culture. All right, Juice, we know how you feel, so we're going to come to you last on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be last.
Here's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to listen to this
I
one.
got one thing to say. If the Dolphins lose a game on a major holiday, let's say Christmas, Juice don't want to hear no one say Merry Christmas after a loss. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know.
There's bigger things than football, Juice. There's bigger things. Go home and see your family.
I think OJ fell out of his chair.
Right.
You don't want to hear Merry Christmas if they lose on Christmas, especially at home when they had a lead.
That's exactly right, Mike. You're exactly right. Kirk, how do you feel as a sports writer when you see that? Because I will say this, having been down there with the guys sometimes, I think sometimes somebody gets caught looking like they're smiling, and you never know what was said. You never know, like it could be like, man, I may not have a job tomorrow, and a guy kind of chuckles. And sometimes guys are just grab assing and goofing off, and they don't care, and those are not the guys you want on your team. But I think sometimes guys get a bad rap on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm defending guys. I know how Juice feels about it. Perk, where do you stand as someone who's covering these games when you see a guy smile or chuckle and the team's down by 3 scores?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I think it's disrespectful at the very least. At the most, it might hint to a I don't give a damn type attitude or a lack of competitiveness or something like that. I don't like to see it. There was an incident 2 years ago in the Dolphins locker room, and I'm not going to mention names because I'm not 100%. Well, I'll mention Malik Washington was one of the names, and it was a group of wide receivers, and they had lost a road game. And some of the older receivers were smiling and talking about their post-game plans. And Malik said, I can't believe y'all are smiling after a loss. And this was a rookie to veterans. There's something wrong with that, right? On all levels. So, yeah, you want guys, look, you don't necessarily have to overreact and throw trash cans and cuss people out. But don't act like you don't give a damn. That's a very, very, very bad quality, and you should get your butt whooped by your teammates.
Damn, code red.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Once it's over, if they're over there shaking hands, if there's a laugh, that's whatever. It's fine. When they take off the jersey and start doing the swap of the jerseys, that's where it gets a little bit much sometimes for me. It's like you don't have to do that on the field right after a loss. Like I think there was one game with Tua, not to pile on. I think he took it off and was racing over to Pat Mahomes to get it signed. Like, really, Tua, like, you just lost to Kansas City. Like, I don't know. That kind of upsets me more as a fan, sort of. It's a new era. I understand. It's not like
no, Mike. No,
but it's still wrong at the end of the day, I think. But whatever.
This kumbaya shit's got to go, man. It's got to go, man. Honestly, man. Come on, man. You prepare all week to kill these dudes, man. Then next thing you know, you're hugging and jersey swapping, and you know what I mean? No. I used to dap up a couple dudes that they might have went to Penn State or something, man. But like. Any dude I was playing against, Ty Law, I didn't dap up Ty Law until I saw him at Central Park 10 years after we finished playing. You know what I mean? That's how long it took me to dap him up. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's walking. I was
He's
over
not
there
talking
coaching
about
baseball.
New York. He's talking about Plantation.
Talking about Plantation, yeah, for sure.
I thought he was talking about a strip club. Okay, go ahead.
Damn, Perk.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure one of those 13
blown
days
up
had
the
strip
spot.
club involved. I'm sure a strip club involved. But yeah, man, I think
13 out
I
of 14.
I get so mad, man. Like, honestly, and Mike, you hit it on the head, especially this post. That's why I started. Post game was bad for me. Bad for me, bad for my family. It wasn't a big Seth. Like, I get so mad post game because I hear the coach or Tua or whoever might get on the microphone, and they used to piss me off, man. And Perk, you just made Malik Washington. He was already my favorite player on the team.
I know, really. Now I like him even more.
You doubled it up for me right there, man. Because that's the shit that we're talking about, that these dudes that were the leaders on this football team were doing, that were a bad influence on the younger guys. I'm surprised. Like, even Jarvis had some bad influence in his, but Jarvis persevered through some of the guys that were, the older vets on his team. For Malik to say that, man, that means a lot to me, bro, because these other dudes, paid, whatever, blah, 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 that's for me, that's lack of love of the game, man. When you sitting there talking about what you about to do after an L, only thing I want to do after an L was go to the crib and get ready for another 7 days before the next game. Seth, I joke all the time. I didn't want to go to Publix. I didn't want to go to Sawgrass Mall. I didn't want to go anywhere in public until we played again, until we got some retribution for the last L we took. These dudes, they don't care, man. They be flossing. They be on the plane. They used to be on the plane all the time. We come off the road and have an L. They talk, all right, where we going tonight? Where we off to tonight? Take your ass home, get in the playbook.
Right.
Well, you missed 3 assignments, dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating for me, man. And you can tell I'm still pissed off about it.
Hey, let me ask y'all something about the jersey swap real quick, Juice and Mike, because I've done a couple of stories on the jersey swaps, and I remember Jerome Baker was telling me before his, I'm pretty sure it was Jerome Baker before his rookie year. I'm pretty sure they opened against the Patriots that year, and he was telling me that one of his goals was to get a signed jersey from Tom Brady, and I'm like, yeah, you're a rookie.
Go on Fanatics.
Do that. And he was like, well,
Go on Fanatics and get one.
Yeah, right. Well, he was just like, I would just like to do it. But I will take you to Calais Campbell, a veteran who said that he's got dozens of jerseys that he swapped with players. He wants to have a room in his new house to which he hangs all these signed jerseys. And he said it got to the point with him that it got to be such a deal that he didn't want to get a sweaty grass stained jersey that stunk. So afterward, they started going through the team. They would wash the jersey, and the team would mail it like on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. But what, like, do you not? You know, these guys went to college together. Yeah. They're free agents. They have the same agent.
Like that.
So what pisses you off about it most?
That to me, if you want to go through the team and it's mailed, like it's fine. But as a fan who's just spent all this money on, to head to a game, pay for the tickets, pay for parking, pay for some food, a drink, whatever, and you watch your team then lose, and you got players on the field laughing and swapping jerseys, you're like, I feel like I care more about this game than they did. That, I mean, again, you want to shake hands after the field, you want to laugh, fine. I understand the world's changed. It's not 1982 anymore. It's not like that, and it's changed. But the jersey swap to me is one step too far, I think. That one, there's ways to do it, like you said, work through the team behind the scenes. That's fine. Don't flaunt it in front of the world. That to me is like the one step too far type of deal.
You know what jerseys I had in my game room, Perk? I had Lamar Thomas. I had Lamar Thomas, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of my best friends. I had a Bobby Ingram, Chicago Bears. I had a Kerry Collins, Carolina Panthers. I had a Kajana Carter, Cincinnati Bengals. I had a Brian O'Neill, San Francisco. Who else? I had Dan Marino. I had Keith Jackson in a Green Bay Keith Jackson. Wow. You know what I mean? So those are the ones I had. Anybody I played against, the hell with them, man. You know what I mean? Those are my dogs that I had. I don't want anybody else's shit. Now, what I did collect was a bunch of like jerseys. I had basketball jerseys, but they weren't all signed just so I could rock them. Oversized jean shorts. That was my shit. I had about 200. I spent way too much money on them jerseys, man. And I still got half of them bitches. I don't know why I still got them. I got a trivia question for you though, Perk. I got a trivia question for you real quick. All right, Jerry Rice played in a Pro Bowl one time, and he wore number 81 for the NFC. Why did he wear number 81 instead of 80?
I've heard this question before.
Shit!
I don't know.
Who would have worn 80 in?
It wasn't in honor of O.J. McDuffie.
No, don't I wish. Because now they wear the same. They wear their number no matter what on the same team now. But back then they did not.
I don't know. I got
that Jerry Rice 81 jersey, All-Star jersey.
Do you?
Oh, you got it. Mm-hmm. Who was it? I've heard this before, and I'm totally drawing a blank.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I've heard it before too, so I'm going to go nuts when I as soon as you say it.
Well, I'll give it to you, Perk.
Okay.
I'll give it to you. Henry Ellert. With the Rams. He wore 80.
The Rams.
He was 80, so he had seniority. So that's how he got the wear it instead of Jerry Rice got. So Jerry had to wear 81.
Henry Ellert should be in the Hall of Fame too, by the way. He's a Hall of Famer in my book.
Yeah.
There's a lot. You know what? Walking around this place today, Big Seth, everybody's got chatter about who should be in the Hall, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody's got somebody that should be in the Hall. It's like, there's 100 people that was talking about somebody that from their franchise that should be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, and that's part of the challenge. Yeah, all these people make all these great cases. So good stuff about. I don't remember the jersey swap being a thing, Juice, back when
it never was, man. We hated each other, Seth.
Well,
but it was real.
It was also, and if it was done the way Perk's describing it. It was kind of done. sometime afterwards, or have your guy send it to my guy, or what have you. But I just don't remember that on the field. Just first of all, some of these guys, I don't know how they were even getting out of their jerseys. You know,
right.
You need help,
Charlie
right?
Beal
It takes a village to take some of these jerseys off, man.
Right.
It really does. And some of the jerseys are taped to the shoulder pads.
Right. The double stick tape. I don't know.
Double stick tape.
Well, I had one other thing I wanted to discuss, but I'm looking at the time. So why don't we roll into I tried to tell you all, and then we'll go from there. Juice, you got one? I know you're traveling.
Yeah, I got one. Let me see if I can find it, man. I wasn't ready. All right, here we go.
My bad.
Damn. Wait, maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. All right, here we go. All right, I got one. All right, as you guys know, I am here in Canton, Ohio. You know, this is where all the coaches come from as well, y'all. Y'all realize that, you know, Ohio's got so many great coaches that come out of the state of Ohio, and this is the coach's cradle right here. But my guy that I'm trying to talk to you guys about is special teams coach Mike Westhoff, and why he was the best to ever do it. Listen, back in my days, you know, back in the Miami Dolphins, 1993 to 2001, Mike Westhoff wasn't just special teams, he was revolutionizing the game. Under Don Shula and Jimmy Johnson, Westhoff turned that third phase of football into a weapon. He was a mad scientist out there, constantly tinkering, figuring it out, and staying ahead of everyone else. Wedge blocks, triple teams, coverage schemes, onside kicks, you name it. He perfected it or invented new ways to dominate. The NFL literally had to change rules because of what he and his units were doing. He could take a 4-4-5 guy like myself and get me wide open on punts or gunning down the field, second to none. His best player, in my opinion, over the years, without a doubt, was Larry Izzo. He spent 15 seasons with the Miami Dolphins from 86 to 2000 as a tight ends coach and special teams coach, then went on to the stinking Jets for 12 more years as their special teams coordinator. I won't hold that against him, just like Seth. I don't hold it against JT anymore. Not anymore. And, of course, we love Mason up there. Just hate his uniform. Anyhow, I digress. Mike then made stops, you know, with the Saints and the Broncos. And over 33 NFL seasons, he was the gold standard. Innovative, tough, creative, and the kind of coach who demanded excellence but had your back. Alindo Mari, one of the best kickers in Miami Dolphins history, thrived under him with the legendary leg that he had, but more importantly, that famous onside kick innovation that Mike had, where he drove it into the ground and popped it up, where you couldn't have a chance at a fair catch. It was a game changer until the rules changed. It really was. Other greats he coached and developed on the Dolphin side of things were like guys like Matt Turk. He was great. Some other return specialists, coverage demons who bought into a system. But later with the Jets, he had some monster guys: Leon Watsons, the Santana Mosses, the Brad Smiths, the Justin Millers, the Joe McKnights. I mean, Chad Morton. He produced some kick returners all going to Pro Bowls, man. And that right there, he was getting them going like that. And that was really cool on what he did. He had 20 touchdowns as a unit with the Jets. 20 return touchdowns. You don't see any return touchdown. I know since before the rules changed, you didn't see that stuff happen, man. It was crazy. Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl. He even helped Taysom Hill become that special teams guy that he became. So Mike is the guy that was really, really, special on all different facets, man. So Westhoff didn't just coach. He changed how the entire league approached special teams. Roger Goodell himself called him the mad scientist who changed the game. And that's why, here's my real point, it's criminal that he never got a head coaching job. In the era where teams undervaluated special teams, Westhoff was out here proving it that he could win the games, control field position, and swing momentum like nobody else. He had the vision, the leadership, the innovation, and the results to run a whole program. The game missed out. Mike Westhoff was one of the main reasons I was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. He went to bat for me, and I hope I didn't disappoint him. This week, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is honoring him with the Award of Excellence, along with a couple other legendary assistants at events today here in Canton. Long overdue recognition for the greatest special teams coach in NFL history. Mike Westhoff was the best to do it. Respect to my coach. I try to tell y'all.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Good
Hall of
stuff.
Fame worthy right there, Juice.
Yep.
Straight
Good
out of
stuff.
Canton.
Greatest podcast guy ever. I've had him on twice. The greatest guest I've ever had, bar none. You ask a question, he will tell you the answer.
Got a press play.
We had him lined up, right, Seth? But he talked his way out. We worked with the Dolphins. Couldn't
He
put
did.
him
He
on.
talked us right up.
I had him on that same week. I was able to get him still.
Yeah,
The
well,
first
you
thing
went-
I asked him, Mike, you said you would have turned off the music and started the practice over. Hell yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness, too good. Savak, we haven't heard from you all day. What'd you try to tell us?
Oh no, you're still not going to hear from me.
I was ready for a video.
Pass.
I was ready for a motion picture. All right, well, we heard that. We definitely heard that. Michael Leva, what did you try to tell us?
Okay, so I tried to tell y'all that the pain is real. In recent weeks, we've seen the Carolina Hurricanes hold a parade. We've seen the Knicks hold a parade. We've seen these nuts from all over the world come to our country, drink everything dry, and have a grand old time watching their football team win World Cup games. Sports fans being happy. Watching those sports fans being happy has made me a little sad. Why? Because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm not used to that emotion.
Right.
NFL football is a couple months away, and I got a bad feeling I know what's coming this season. Expectations for the Dolphins this season are as low as they've ever been. Now, you got some fans and some in the media feel that the Miami Dolphins having a bad season this year is best in the long-term interest of the team. And I see their point of view. Bottom out, you get that superstar quarterback, take off from there. I got to be honest, though. I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of watching this team lose, come up with new ways to lose, invent new ways to lose, get my emotions sky high, only to let me down, constantly rip out my heart and stomp on it. Enough with the losing. So those fans who want to see this team lose this year so we can get Dante Moore or Arch Manning, I get it. And you might not be wrong. And that might be the right approach. But screw that. I want to see this team win. I'm going to be 49 years old next month, not as old as OJ and Seth, but I ain't getting any younger. I sat through 2 Miami Dolphins Super Bowls in my lifetime. I was 6 and 8 years old. 6 and 8. At this pace, I'll be retired and on Social Security before I get to see another one. Think about this. The last time the Miami Dolphins were in the Super Bowl, Nintendo, cell phones, the World Wide Web, disposable cameras weren't even invented yet. That was the last time Miami was in the Super Bowl. The last time Miami Dolphins were in a Super Bowl, people were saying, I want my MTV. These days, if you tell someone MTV, they say, why am I still paying for this dumbass channel that doesn't even play music anymore? Can the Dolphins please start winning? And I don't mean what we've had recently with that Ted Lasso wannabe Mike McDaniel, where we win a bunch of games, stumble in December, blow a game on Christmas, and they say Merry Christmas. Then you sneak in as a wild card berth and get blown out. I mean, can we build a team, a real team that can win on the road or at home? A team that opponents fear and don't want to play. A team that is well coached and doesn't shoot themselves in the foot consistently. And a team with a real starting quarterback. I just want to root for an NFL winner one time in my life. I don't need a dynasty. I want just one championship. Uno. I'll give it all up. I'll give up this website. I'll give up the podcast. You'll never see or hear from me again. Just one. I swear all I want is one. I'm up here in Syracuse, and I'm around a lot of fans of the Knicks up here in Syracuse, New York. I've heard so many Knicks fans in the past week or so saying them winning a championship has healed all their scars and bad memories. They feel healed. They have forgotten about things like Patrick Ewing missing the finger roll in the Eastern Conference Finals where they lost. Charles Smith not getting a layup in 93. Reggie Miller, 8 points in 9 seconds. Halliburton, John Starks, 2 for all these bad memories. All of these things. They have told me, these Knicks fans, I'm not joking, since they have won, they haven't slept this well in years. Well, guess what? I want to sleep well, too. How nice, as a fan of the Dolphins, if we could wipe away all the bad memories. Breeze over, not taking Breeze, going with Dante Culpepper, 62-7 playoff loss, 1-15 season. Nick Saban, Ricky Williams quitting on the eve of training camp to go smoke pot in Asia. The miracle at the Meadowlands. Cam Cameron. I need these memories erased. I need to be healed. Now, there's one elephant in the room I haven't addressed. The curse. The curse of the Taquistas, I believe is how you say it. The Indian
Plesses, the Kurtz's
And I'm
Army.
going to leave you with a cliffhanger. I will personally take care of that issue on my own. I'm going to bring in the big guns to handle that matter. Stay tuned. Give me about a week to 2 weeks. Just stay tuned. But after that, I've done my part, and now it's up to John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Halfley, please, to do their part. It takes a village. Don't let me down. End my pain. Doesn't have to be this year. I know you're not winning nothing this year. End my pain as a Dolphins fan. Please, I try to tell y'all.
Wow.
I love
That's a lot
that.
to unpack right there.
But when I say essentially the same thing, I get trashed in the chat as being a Debbie Downer. Whatever.
I'm seeing nothing but hearts and smiley emojis going on here. Yeah. Doc, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally.
Right.
Well, maybe it should. I don't know. Well, I mean, in that case, are you motivated to tell us something? Or that was it?
That was it.
Nice work, Mike. Very
Yeah.
nice work. Listen, if you're going to give up the website, let's have a conversation before you go crazy, okay?
Just give me one championship, Seth. That's all I want is one.
I hear you. But imagine what the website could do if that happens. Chris Perkins,
for real.
3 weeks to prepare for this very moment. What
Oh,
have you
man.
got to tell us?
All right, this is going to be, and I've tried to tell y'all, and it's related to Brendan Sorsby, the Texas Tech quarterback, and this whole debacle here. I've tried to tell y'all I don't like it when the league makes rules to protect teams from themselves. So I'm conflicted about this Brendan Sorsby thing, particularly the area where the league cancels the supplemental draft. If Brendan Sorsby is not good enough, don't draft him. I was covering the NBA when they made it illegal to draft 18-year-olds because teams couldn't help themselves. They would have to draft the 18-year-old even if he wasn't prepared. So in Sorsby's case, if this guy is not an NFL caliber quarterback, or if you object to his gambling, don't draft him. But somebody probably would have drafted him in the second or third round. Now, look, I'm conflicted because I understand the league not wanting to allow a gambler or an alleged, he's a gambler. He's admitted to, placing like over 90 bets worth a total of more than $90,000 on different teams, including his own team when he played at Indiana. And obviously the danger in the NFL for that is if Sorsby is in the game and there's an incomplete pass that people think could have or should have been completed, well, now you're going to wonder, does he have money on himself on a prop bet or et cetera, et cetera? Is he point shaving? Is he doing this? It cuts at the heart of the integrity of the game. So I understand the NFL sending Sorsby that letter and saying, we advise you to focus on 2027, not 2026 in the NFL. I get that. But you should have the supplemental draft. And if somebody drafts them, maybe you suspend them for the whole season. But I don't like the fact that the league says we're not going to let you into the league this year. We're not even going to give teams the option. I wonder what the Dolphins would have done. Sully and Half say they like to select a quarterback every year, and I don't take that literally, but I think they like to have that stockpile. We know what their history was in Green Bay. But these guys are no BS guys, right? Bringing Sorsby in and bringing in that kind of a challenge, it doesn't seem to fit what they would have done, but what they have done, I should say. But they do know talent. They do like talent. They like stockpiling quarterbacks. So I wonder what the Dolphins would have done. But really, again, I don't like it when the league makes rules to protect teams from themselves. And that's what happened here. I've never liked that in any sport. I've tried to tell you.
You are so spot on, Perk.
That's what's up, Perk.
You are so spot on. They should have let what they did to this kid is so wrong. And I know I'm out there way on like an island because you got so many people. He's got to be punished.
Right.
He didn't break these rules in the NFL. It's not the NFL's job to
Right.
punish him for something he did outside the NFL 1, 2. And like you said, if he throws a pick, people are going to wonder. Look at his stats at Cincinnati. He wasn't fixing games. He wasn't throwing games. That's a weak argument. He had 2 amazing years at Cincinnati.
Yep.
He was a young kid who made a mistake, went into rehab for a month. Have the draft, suspend him for 5 games, suspend him for 8 games, suspend him for a year. Rashee Rice just got out of prison for a month. He's going to play week 1. Jalen Carter was in some type of incident where someone died. He was picked in the top 10. But this kid is where they're going to draw the line in the sand.
Right.
It is so hypocritical on every level. And they totally did this kid dirty.
Well, I don't even, and this was going to be one of the things I wanted to talk about. So I'm really glad that it was in your, I tried to tell you all, Perk, but I don't even think about it in terms of doing him dirty, but like how do you deny somebody's right to work? And if it's the gambling issue, I tweeted this right before we came on air. It's like, if you have a deadline and you beat the deadline by 3 days, but then you said, well, you didn't give us time to prepare.
Right.
Well, then what the flip was the deadline for? The deadline should have been 5 days earlier, or 10, or should there be, you have to submit by this day? I don't understand. What's the purpose of the deadline other than if he didn't have the gambling problem, would they still have needed more time to prepare? And they criticize him as to when he applied. I mean, that's the whole point of the supplemental draft. So I don't get that at all. And let the teams, you nailed it, Perk, trying to protect them from themselves. Let a team decide if they want to, if they want to take a chance. Yeah, and then suspend them. You know, suspend them for if you think the gambling is a problem, even though if it wasn't in the NFL, conduct detriment, whatever, then go ahead and suspend them. And that's happened.
I don't like that either. Though. I don't like them. You know, I don't like. You know, it's like you going to a new job, Big Seth, and then you're suspended without pay. You know, your first few weeks when you go to a new gig. What you mean?
So
why should the league be able to? Why should the league be able to suspend it? NFL, I mean, the NCAA should be. The NCAA obviously can do what the hell they're doing. But if I'm going to another league, you know, you're gonna. I'm not. I don't have to carry that weight with me.
But we've seen it before. There's a precedence before it, right? They did. Did they do it? Was it with Pryor? They did it too. To a Pryor. It was a guy, and that was for nothing. So I mean. If that's what they decide to do and they have their morals clause and whatever, which has clear holes in it, fine. But how do you say that he can't be drafted? And then so what? Does he have to enter the draft next year? Like, to me, if he was ready to be drafted now and you said that he can't, we're just not going to hold this thing that we typically would have, then he should be a free agent, in my opinion. You know,
Jim Harbaugh broke every rule at Michigan, including stealing signs.
Yeah.
No, right. NFL, we got no problem with that.
That's a great point.
That's a great point, Mike.
Like they did this kid so wrong. And I know he's not a saint. He made a mistake. He should be punished. Fine. But to not let him in now is just it's just wrong on every level.
Yeah, I think there's I don't know about flat out win, but I think that they're going to get something out of that lawsuit because it just doesn't seem. I understand what's in their rules, but it just doesn't seem kosher, man. I don't understand.
Well, you know, his punishment too, Big Seth. Yeah, his punishment too was like, you know, he was going back to school. You know what I mean? That everybody, all these quarterbacks now want to go back to school. So now that he can't do that for the most part, that's a punishment in itself. He didn't want to go to pros yet, or he could have, right? He could have been a pro already, no?
He could have came out at the end of last season because all this stuff all came out after the draft.
But he didn't want to, right?
And it would have been totally fine. So he
didn't want to. So he wanted to go. So the punishment is he wanted to go back to Tech. You know what I mean?
Texas Tech money.
That's what I'm talking about. So he's already getting hit up top.
Somebody give me that $5 million spanking. I'll take it. Yeah, for sure.
Oil money.
So I think it's kind of messed up. I don't know. But gentlemen, I tried to tell y'all that tight end has become the NFL's sexiest position. And if that makes you uncomfortable, well, perhaps you have bigger problems. But consider this. Earlier this week, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Greg Olsen held their 6th annual Tight End University in Nashville, Tennessee, hosting 90 NFL tight ends, fullbacks, and quarterbacks. And what began as kind of a cult classic just a few years ago has clearly become a blockbuster mega movie with the surprise cameo of one of the world's biggest stars, who also happens to be Kelce's fiance, who also happens to be Taylor Swift, singing one of her hits by special request from a screaming little fan in the front row named George Kittle. The scene was manic. It instantly went viral. And right before our eyes, Kelce, Kittle, and Olsen have become the NFL's version of Sinatra, Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. Not to be outdone, Atlanta's Kyle Pitts inked a 3-year, $54 million contract, clearly gearing up for a big season with Tua Tagovailoa. But if any tight end is bringing sexy back, it's Miami's very own Greg Dulcich. With hair that is auditioning to replace Troy Polamalu as head and shoulders spokesperson and a Magnum PI magnificent mustache, Dulcich is as ready for Ocean Drive as he is for the Las Vegas Raiders. But it's not all about the hair with Dulcich, because last year's surprise has quickly become tight end 1, and everybody's trying to figure out who wide receiver 1 is. I think his name is Greg Dulcich. There's no player that seems to be getting more comfortable with Malik Willis than Greg Dulcich. So expect those glorious locks to be flowing in a way that Andrew Van Ginkel once had them flow out here. Doubling down with the mustache. Crazy interview, Perkins. I think I don't know if you've interviewed him yet. I don't know if he was in the vet status for you last year. It's very interesting, almost kind of like kumbaya. Let's go hang out at Woodstock interview. I guess that's the UCLA thing. And he happens to be a pretty damn good player. Tight ends were almost going the way of fullbacks, where they were going to be dinosaurs, but somehow, some way, they have become the NFL's sexiest position. I tried to tell y'all.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah. I think Jimmy Graham from UM had a role in the resuscitation, right, of the tight end.
I mean, they like all the sudden. Now, granted, the whole Taylor Swift thing has put them in a different stratosphere, and these guys had their little club. Their little boys club has become now something where there's probably people trying to jump over fences and crash and see what's going on there. But it's crazy to me that the tight ends have become that popular. But, valuable position.
Sam says you're trying to turn them into wide receivers.
Well, I mean,
OJ didn't seem thrilled by it, by the way.
He did not like it.
No. I know where Sam's going. Y'all, Sam is a wild boy, man. That's a wild boy.
He is a trip.
Oh my God, he's still killing it in the chat bar.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
He can't deny tight ends and fullbacks.
Too good.
Hey, by the way, before we get out, I got one more guy that I used to talk to that I used to love interviewing was Leslie Shepard, the receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yeah. We used to. So when back in 2000 or 01, I can't remember when Shep was there. Me and Todd Archer and Ethan Skolnick were covering the team, and we used to go to Quiznos every Friday for lunch, and we would come back his open locker room and it's story time with Shep. And so Shep would give us all these great stories, and one was that he came down here on his recruiting visit to UM. You're supposed to come down on Friday and leave on Sunday. He stayed till Tuesday. Michael Irvin as his chaperone. So you can figure out the rest. You can figure out
no more.
Shep has some great stories. I love talking to Shep.
Greatest recruiting visit ever.
48 hours only, Perk. 48 hours only, man.
Right. That's what it should have been.
Too good.
Yeah.
Too good.
That is great.
Well, fellas, I have gone way over time, but this was a lot of fun. Mailbag, great idea, Savak.
Great idea, Savak.
Good
stuff.
Set us up for success. And great questions from everybody in the chat and on social media. So thank you all for that. Juice, it's about that time, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chad and Kiara. Hope she's feeling better, man. And everybody else, thanks for diving in.